Once upon a time, there was a mother goat who had 7 little kids, and she loved them with all her heart. One day, she needed to go into the forest to find food. She called all 7 of her children together and said, "Dear children, I have to go into the forest. While I'm away, watch out for the wolf. If he gets inside, he'll gobble every one of you up, skin, hair, and all. That scoundrel likes to disguise himself, but you'll know him right away by his rough voice and his black feet." The little kids said, "Don't worry, Mother, we'll be very careful." So the mother goat said goodbye and headed off into the forest. It wasn't long before someone knocked at the door and called, "Open up, dear children. Your mother is home, and she's brought something back for each of you." But the little kids recognized the wolf's rough voice. "We won't open the door," they cried. "Q, not our mother. She has a soft, gentle voice, but your voice is rough and growly. You're the wolf." So the wolf went to a shopkeeper and bought a big piece of chalk. He ate it, and it made his voice soft and smooth. Then he came back, knocked on the door, and called in a gentle voice, "Open up, dear children. Your mother is home, and she's brought something for each of you." But the wolf had pressed his black paws against the window, and the children saw them. "We won't open the door," they cried. "Our mother doesn't have black feet like yours. You're the wolf." So the wolf ran to the baker and said, "I've hurt my feet. Spread some dough over them." When the baker had covered his paws with dough, the wolf ran to the miller and said, "Sprinkle white flour over my feet." The miller thought, this wolf is trying to trick someone, and refused. But the wolf said, "If you don't do it, I'll eat you." The miller was frightened, so he made the wolf's paws white. Now the wolf went to the house for the 3rd time. He knocked on the door and said, "Open the door. Children, your dear mother has come home and brought each of you something from the forest." The little kids called out, "Show us your paws first, so we can be sure you're really our mother." The wolf held his paws up to the window, and when the kids saw that they were white, they believed it was truly their mother, and they opened the door. But in rushed the wolf. The kids screamed and tried to hide. One dove under the table, the second jumped into the bed. The third climbed into the stove, the fourth ran into the kitchen. The fifth squeezed into the cupboard. The sixth crawled under the washtub, and the seventh hid inside the grandfather clock. But the wolf found them all, and one after another, he swallowed them whole. The only one he didn't find was the youngest, hidden inside the clock. When the wolf had eaten his fill, he waddled outside, laid down under a tree in the sunny meadow, and fell fast asleep. Soon the mother goat came home from the forest. What a terrible sight met her eyes! The front door stood wide open. The table, chairs, and benches were overturned. The washtub was smashed to pieces, and the blankets and pillows had been yanked off the bed. She searched for her children and called each one by name, but no one answered. At last, when she called the name of the youngest, a tiny voice cried, "Mother, I'm in the clock." She pulled the little kid out, and it told her everything. The wolf had come. The wolf had swallowed all the others. You can imagine how bitterly she wept. Finally, still crying, the mother goat went outside, and her youngest kid ran along beside her. When they reached the meadow, there lay the wolf under the tree, snoring so loudly that the branches shook. She looked closely and saw something wriggling and squirming inside his big, bulging belly. She thought, could my poor children still be alive in there? She sent the youngest kid running home for scissors, a needle, and thread. Then she cut open the wolf's belly, and as soon as she made the first snip, one little kid poked its head out. She kept cutting, and all 6 of them tumbled out, one after another, every one still alive and unharmed. The greedy wolf had been in such a hurry that he'd swallowed them whole. What a joyful reunion! The kids hugged their mother and jumped for joy. But the mother said, "Quick, go find some big stones." The 7 kids hurried off and dragged back as many heavy stones as they could carry. They stuffed the stones into the wolf's belly, and the mother sewed him up again so quickly and quietly that he didn't feel a thing. When the wolf finally woke up, the stones in his stomach made him terribly thirsty. He dragged himself toward the well for a drink, but as he walked, the stones knocked and clattered against each other inside him. He groaned, "What rumbles and tumbles against my poor bones?" I thought tea was 6 kids, but it feels like big stones. When he reached the well and leaned over to drink, the heavy stones pulled him in, and the wolf drowned. When the 7 little kids saw what had happened, they came running and shouting, "The wolf is dead! The wolf is dead!" And they danced for joy around the well with their mother.